Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
All right, I mentioned the gods loyal to Odin.
Okay.
And I think maybe we'll just explore that right now.
All right, why not?
We had a little bit of a controversy on the show here a year and a half ago.
Yes.
And evidently somebody decided to pick up where things got left off a year and a half ago, I should say.
Which is interesting that they actually, they had to go and search for this thread.
Right. Because it was buried for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we did a show on this to where I think, in my opinion, we really laid the smack down.
Yeah, I think so.
In fact, I think it's a best of. It's part of an iTunes podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So we did a whole thing on this, but basically, again, we don't care if you think we suck. All right.
Nope, not even a little.
Don't care. In fact, I enjoy it when I see and read opinions from people, which doesn't really happen that often.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. But there are some people who live on these message boards, and that's all well and fine. I mean, if that's your form of socializing, good for you.
Yep, sure.
And everybody has an opinion, just as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an opinion on the show, I'm glad to hear it. But if you have an opinion, okay?
Yeah.
The only thing that I ask if you have an opinion is back it up with some kind of substance.
Yeah, make a point.
Yeah, make a point. Back it up with fact or substance instead of just rhetoric.
Yeah, of course.
Because when you just spout off for the sake of spouting off and you don't really have anything to back up your thoughts or your opinions on something, then you come off as just being a mindless boob. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Right.
And what you have to say or whatever it is that you're trying to get across just falls flat because it makes no sense.
Right.
So one of the guys over there at the Hard Rockin' 80s message board who carries the Classic Metal Show over there, I think he's our longest running affiliate, as a matter of fact.
He is, yeah, absolutely.
Chris V over at hardrockin80s.com has been good to the Classic Metal Show. He's carried the CMS for years now, longest running affiliate we've had on the internet, and no matter what the haters over there had to say, he's never pulled the show just because somebody says, "Ooh, pull that show, we hate it, pew, stinky, ooh." Remember that?
I do remember that.
So one of the guys over there, he calls himself Gods Loyal to Odin. Evidently, from some of the feedback that I've read after your post, which I'm going to read here, he's not a favorite over there.
Right, not at all.
He's not a favorite over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play this little bumper here, and then we'll get into it.
All right.
Odin sucks, and so do the gods that are loyal to them. The Classic Metal Show.
All right. Well, anyway, to start this thing off, this post, the very first post, and I'm not going to read down through every one of them here, but this thread over at the Hard Rockin' 80s message board started on July 6th of 2008.
Right,
okay. So about a year and a half ago.
Right.
And it picked up some steam for a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then you had chimed in on it, and there was a little bit of exchange between you and some other folks over there, and then it just died off.
Right, sure.
It went away. The last post on that was July 8th of 2008.
Right.
So it went away. People got it out of their system and then, went about their business.
Right.
Well, somebody by the name of Aeridan, Aeredan, Aeridan.
Aeridan, all right.
Picked this conversation up earlier this week on December 7th, on Monday.
Okay.
Making comment about the Classic Metal Show, voicing their opinion as sophomoric, prepubescent humor, monotonous, semi-literate, but other than those attributes, the show is awful.
Thanks.
I'd rather listen to the long, drawn-out death rattle of a man suffering from terminal flatulence than listen to these twits.
He's a funny one.
It's the one and only time I switch to something else.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right. So, again, no substance. Just, no facts. Just, I don't like what I hear. End of story.
Right.
That's fine. Go ahead about your business.
Yeah, it's cool.
Then the next person chimes in by the name of Eric Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's like a warrant reference.
Of course.
Eric Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eric Turner and Jerry Dixon.
Probably.
So probably a warrant fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've given it a chance and listened a few times from start to end. The beginning is good. The assholes, I think that he's referring to you and I
guess so.
The assholes don't talk. They just play music.
Right.
But once the two dumbasses, I think he's referring to you and I again,
I think so.
start their BS, the show turns to shit.
Wow.
They don't have an idea between the two of them. So they just repeat the same shit over and over and laugh at each other and whomever they can make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waste, W-A-I-S-T, of time.
As opposed to a hip or an arm of time.
Right. And I thought The Grinder sucked. That's another show on Hard Rock and 80s, The Grinder.
Mm-hmm.
These guys make me turn it off. If I was working now, I'd go buy Sirius again, any kind of music you want, and very few commercials. Don't get me wrong, I love Hard Rock and 80s for the music. The side shows I don't like to listen to.
See, I'm okay with that.
Well, here's the thing. The Classic Metal Show is not a 100% music-based show.
No, it's not a jukebox.
Anybody can do that. Anybody.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, going back to my reference near the beginning of the show, if you go into KFC and order a hamburger and they don't have it on the menu, but you want a hamburger, does that mean KFC sucks?
Yeah, it does. They're terrible.
Or if you go to McDonald's and order spaghetti and they can't give you spaghetti, does that mean McDonald's sucks?
I'm never going back till they get spaghetti on the menu.
Right.
Because I am right.
Right. So here's a classic case of this show does not provide me with a jukebox format, so therefore it sucks.
Right. They talk instead of playing my hair bands.
Right. So then this dipshit, God's Loyal to Odin, he chimes in with his in-depth knowledge.
Now this is after we gave this dope a beating.
He got a severe beating.
Right.
And I do notice one thing about his post. He no longer uses the exclamation point to excess.
Well, maybe he heard it.
Yeah. So the God's Loyal to Odin chimes in with, I'll bet on their show they'll make fun of all of us and pretend to be knowledgeable about metal.
Yep.
Well, let me see. You and I have been doing this show. This show is almost 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We've had from the biggest to the littlest metal music, hard rock stars on the show.
Yep.
For us not to know anything about metal, we've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, and nowhere in our conversation in the 14 years, my 7 on the show and your 7 more in addition to it, has either one of us claimed to be knowledgeable, uber knowledgeable metal fans.
Right.
We haven't. We're
Nope.
just dudes that dig it.
Right. So he says they pretend to be knowledgeable about metal. They're not.
Oh.
I miss Metal Lessons Radio.
Yeah, me too.
Please, somebody revive this show.
Okay.
Grinder's show is cool. Where else are you going to hear Samson, Angel Witch, Bitches, Sin, etc.?
Yeah.
When Grinder speaks, he stays on task what year the CD came out and when those bands are touring.
All right. Now that's radio.
Those two waste 6 hours talking about how dumb other shows are.
Yep. That's what we do.
In their place, I would love to hear Eddie Trunk,
Me too.
Ball of Fire,
Mm-hmm.
Dee Schneider's House of Hair,
Now, that would be good.
and repeats of Metal Lessons Radio or Hairball John and the Acid Chimp.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with him.
So what do all those shows have in common?
Well, other than Metal Lessons, well, even Metal Lessons to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Little talk, a lot of tunes.
Mm-hmm. So
That's
basically, again, this show doesn't have the format that I want, so
Right.
therefore they suck.
That's right.
So if I ordered a pizza at Burger King and they can't give me a pizza, they suck.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Damn straight.
Right. All right, so you, in your infinite wisdom and your ability to spell correctly and form sentences correctly, and well, the only criticism I have on your post,
Yeah.
you did not spell your words out monosyllabically so they can understand them. That means one-syllable words, folks. That's what monosyllabically means.
Yeah, you got that GLTO.
Yeah. So Mr. Aiken decides to take these folks to task in a very intellectual, very on-point, very direct way without having to be hateful and hurtful and harmful and derogatory and everything.
Yeah, I really wasn't the normal Angry Chris.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Aiken decides to post over there.
Right.
And you identify yourself. You don't hide behind a keyboard anonymously.
Nope.
You identified yourself from the get-go.
Yeah, front first line.
Chris
So
Aiken from the Classic Metal Show here, gods. And just wanted you to know that I am personally taking your request to heart. On the Classic Metal Show, that will air on Hard Rock and 80s, I am personally reviving Metal Lessons Radio as part of our 5th annual Top 10 Countdown show for 2009. That's right, Neeley, Chris Aiken, the guys from Rock and Metal Revival, and yes, the return of the Johns at Metal Lessons Radio will all choose their top 10 albums of 2009 and play tracks from each album during the show.
Wow.
Sounds like a good show to me.
It's me too.
Also, the fact that you like Metal Lessons and Hairball John makes me warm inside. Why? Because I personally brought both shows to the internet radio. Me alone. That's right, smart guy. You had to get your entertainment from the things that I developed. Don't believe me? Feel free to email the Johns or Hairball John and ask them if Chris Aiken was the guy that brought them to the net. Feel free to ask if I worked with them to develop their shows. I accept your compliment for my work and thank you for it. So you're being very kind.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yes, one final thing that you just refused to get in your obsession to bash us. We never claimed to be a corporate show like Eddie or Dee. We've always claimed to do a shock jock metal meets commentary type show. We're not going to do exactly what you spelled out that you like so much about Grinder's show, who coincidentally I like as well.
I do.
Look at you being positive and upbeat. And
Grinder. He does have a good show. He plays a lot of good tunes.
Right. We have Wikipedia to stay on point. The interesting thing is that when we've played music 90% of the time and kept the talking to 5-minute breaks, we did average numbers. When we started talking and the numbers exploded, we got a commercial syndication deal and added 4 cities to the terrestrial side as well. Clearly, we're doing something right that you just don't get.
Right.
I love hard rock and 80s and have my own online station that I run with a different vision than Chris V. But I know the answer to the question, you tools, now you're getting mean, calling them tools.
Right.
But I know the answer to the question you tools seemingly complain about but can't ever seem to figure out. The question is, why does my station even have shows? All I want to hear is the music. Well, the simple answer is twofold. First of all, generally the owner of the station enjoys the shows, and since he's the owner, he gets what he wants. Believe me, if Chris V hated what we do, we'd be gone from hard rock and 80s. Secondly, you put shows on there to differentiate your station from every tool with Winamp and a Live 365 account that calls themselves an online station.
Right.
There's a professional etiquette involved. While you want a streaming iPod, the reality is that no radio station with any amount of success just plays music all the time like a jukebox. Any commercial radio station worth its salt has shows. Jack FM format was total flop for CBS radio. Mm-hmm. Satellite radio has had some success, but ultimately is a flop with the exception of shows like Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, Oprah, Jamie Foxx, etc. Before they had name shows on their platform, they couldn't give satellite radio away. Internet radio is the next big thing in the radio world, and stations can either position themselves to be part of it or be a jukebox that won't be listened to in a car because the listener already has an iPod, an iPhone, or whatever that has their music on it.
Right.
Boy, this is really too deep. I don't know if simpletons will understand this. Anyway, please keep saying how much we suck. We have 3 more stations that I'm talking to commercially about adding us in 2010, so I'll just let your comments keep proving how smart you are versus what the rest of the country thinks. Oh, and to answer the way you opened your post, yes, we will absolutely be talking about your inability to understand what we do, and yes, we will be making fun of you. And we'll be faking our way through being knowledgeable about metal this week as we chat with James Menzo of Megadeth, and next week as we chat with Jeff Scott Soto and Jeff Tate. Feel free not to listen to us on Sunday night right here on Hard Rock and 80s. So the next post comes from somebody who basically hated you.
Yeah, he hated my guts at one point. I guess I turned him.
This guy hated you.
Yep, but I turned him around.
But now that you've targeted someone that he hates even more,
yes,
now you've become more of an ally.
I guess so.
So, the 314 man
right
posts, I would tune in just to hear you rip on God's Loyal to Odin. So basically, he hates God's Loyal to Odin more than he hates you.
Good.
That could make a weekly part of the show. What did God Loyal to Odin say this week? Brought to you by Massengill. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So, doesn't look like the God's Loyal to Odin has very many loyal fans over there.
No, sure doesn't.
The next post was not really a post at all. It was just all smiley faces.
Right.
The next post was not a post at all by Rockhead, but exclamation points.
Yeah.
All across the screen, exclamation points.
That's right.
Once again, mocking God's Loyal to Odin.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, the God's Loyal to Odin chimes in, and I'm going to have a little difficult time reading this because this guy has very poor grammar and sentence structure.
Okay.
So the God's Loyal to Odin chooses to chime in with, the House of Hair is all over the U.S. and Canada, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So he's getting his point across.
I got it. They are.
Both of you suffer from some delusion of grandeur.
Do we?
A typical show of yours, fuck you, fuck you.
Is that what we do?
That's a typical show.
He's right. That's all we do.
We just say fuck you, fuck you.
That's it.
The monkeys want you back in the zoo with them.
Wow, that's hitting below the belt.
In the year 1066, my Norse heritage took over your smelly islands and make you speak Franceus.
What in the hell does that have to do?
I don't know what that. What are we talking about? What islands?
What islands?
What are we talking about here?
Islands am I from? I'm from freaking Ohio.
I know. They took over your smelly islands.
What islands is that?
I don't know. I don't get that.
You know.
Typical naive deliverance gene pool that you both come from. It is okay to shower, you know.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what that means.
I'm still trying to figure out the Norse heritage comment.
Yeah, I know. We took over your smelly islands and made you speak Franceus.
Francais. French.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know the word French, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know what islands he's talking about. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm lost on that one.
So the next post is from Doc, who quotes the 314 man with his making the gods loyal to Odin. What did he say this week?
Right.
And he said, friggin' hilarious. So evidently they're maybe suggesting a new segment for the CMS.
Could be.
What did the gods loyal to Odin say this week?
I'll have to get read on that.
So you...
Well, wait a minute. He also says something nice about us right underneath it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that next line is about us.
Oh, I catch the show occasionally and have no problem with it. Personally, I enjoy Metal Lessons format more, but it's all good.
There you go.
So then you quoted the gods loyal to Odin with his Norse comment, whatever that means.
Right.
So you commented, I guess learning to read wasn't part of your education when you were learning your Norse heritage, dopey. If it was, you would have definitely seen where it says we are not claiming to be a corporate show like Eddie or D. That's because we aren't trying to be. We're growing in spite of doing our own thing, which is original and different from anything else out there.
Yeah?
In any event, smart guy, I'll take a shower the same time you learn that your opinion is just yours. It's not correct, it's not incorrect. Just your opinion. Therefore, take your place in line, peon, accept the fact that your opinions matter to no one else but yourself, and then shut the fuck up. Just as your opinion is that we suck, it is our opinion that Down syndrome kids laugh at your intelligence level. So basically, you're complimenting Down syndrome children here for being smarter than the gods loyal to Odin.
Correct.
Okay, just remember that.
Okay.
Go back to eating pennies and worshiping Randy O or Manowar or whatever bad band you want associated with your dumb surname, stupid.
Odin sucks, and so do the gods that are loyal to them. The Classic Metal Show.
So then your buddy, the gods loyal to Odin, once again chimes in with his well thought out, intelligent reply.
Right.
I bet you can't go 2 seconds without using the F word.
Probably true.
Your vocabulary is pedestrian and hick just like you.
Wow.
Are you a hick?
I think he thinks I'm RH Metal.
Are you pedestrian?
I guess so.
Whatever that is.
I like to walk.
Your spewing nonsense is... See, now here's where I'm going to have a little trouble. Your spewing nonsense is you have left.
I'm going to assume he wanted to say, is all you have left?
Okay.
Maybe?
I don't know. Your spewing nonsense is you have left.
Okay.
The monkeys miss their pooper scooper your hand.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure. The monkeys miss their pooper scooper your hand.
This guy's good.
Okay, that's all one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Let's agree to disagree. We don't like another.
Okay.
You mean we don't like one another?
Apparently not.
Okay. Megadeth radio is better than what did some dude said in Australia. What? Megadeth radio is better than what did some dude said in Australia.
Right.
Okay, whatever that means. What a waste of 6 hours. You are not corporate bullshit. Bullshit.
Easy.
Get her done is not proper American English. Get it done is the correct usage.
This guy's gonna school me on English.
He's comparing you to Larry the Cable Guy.
When did I say get her done?
I don't know. I don't recall reading or hearing that anywhere.
But even if I did, This guy's gonna school me on English?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many foreign languages can you speak or read? 0, retard.
Really?
Now, he knows you well enough to know whether you have a multilingual ability?
Apparently so. I guess he knows everything about me.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess. You're, Y-O-U-R, toothless, and can't find the U.S. on a world map.
It's a good thing I'm here where I don't have to.
Why are you making fun of children with Down syndrome?
Because it's funny.
But when did you make fun of children with Down syndrome?
I didn't.
Okay. For that, creeping death will visit you. Good Metallica tune.
Yeah, great.
Lamb's blood painted door is not enough to save you anymore.
Oh, right.
So he's Jewish?
Apparently.
Okay. The next comment is from Sambo Strat.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along? Guess not. I just got one thing to say, and he puts a whole line of exclamation points.
Yep.
Just like the gods loyal to Odin.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the person who started all this mess.
Yes.
Eridan.
Yes.
After reading the ridiculous official responses from the Classic Metal Show, the best response is simply no response. So basically, you're just supposed to roll over and take it.
Yeah.
So, again, I read your post. It was well thought out. It was well spelled out. It was well explained. But yet this Eridan seems to think that your post is ridiculous.
Well, he's right.
After reading the ridiculous official responses from the Classic Metal Show, the best response is simply no response. So silence is golden.
That's right. Especially in radio.
They are no more funny than they are intelligent and or witty.
Okay, I take that as a compliment.
Sure. The fact that they even responded speaks to their fragile ego and need to incessantly and mindlessly bash the haters only to their own embarrassment.
Got me.
His text is there for all to see and speak for itself. Don't feel the trolls. I think that means feed, not feel.
I guess.
Unless you're a little troll pervert.
Yeah, I guess so.
So your response was ridiculous.
Yes.
And it was not thought out, and it was mindless.
That's right. He's right, and it's all there to see.
Mm-hmm. Some reason that looked very well thought out and well spoken, but maybe I'm mindless.
Could be.
So again, I know this is drawing out a little bit longer, but again, you responded.
Of course I did. I never don't.
Because you didn't roll over and just not respond at all.
Right.
Interesting that I didn't drop the F word here, yet I'm being called out for not being able to speak without using it. Further, it's interesting that for the last 2 years, we've had a terrestrial version of the show that airs on commercial stations where I can't say fuck, but somehow you don't understand that I can do clean shows. Well, smart guy, I've done commercial radio for a decade and had a #1 show in the top 25 market for years by being edgy without swearing. That being said, I'm not doing an internet show, so why would I
I'm doing an internet
I'm
show.
doing an internet show, so why would I censor? If it's fun to you to hear people tiptoe around how most people truly speak, then have at it.
Right.
As far as speaking other languages, well, I do speak a bit of French and quite a bit of Korean that I picked up while I was in the service over there serving my great country. Here's a message for you in Korean. The spelling won't be correct because I didn't write their language, but my message is this, and you're going to have to read that.
That would be Imi Shimi Pekpojida.
Okay. Find someone that speaks that language, and I'm sure they will find the humor.
Yeah.
I also own my own successful business now, and even back then I worked in jobs that required a mind as an intelligence analyst for the U.S. Army. So yeah, you are correct. I must be a dumb guy.
He's right.
And yep, I'm laughing at the kids with Downs. Bring on your karma, you superstitious boob. Ultimately, you are a troll who whines when he doesn't get what he wants and thinks he means something. Me, I continue to have the same strategy I always have. If I'm confronted, I confront back. Maybe being the bigger man, I wouldn't let it go, but I don't choose to be the bigger man. I choose to jump into the pool of shit that you live in and kick you in the teeth again and again. Keep coming, sweetheart. I'm loving it. So the gods, he's not going to back down.
Of course not. He's a tough guy.
You want to steal my teeth? Where does that
What?
say? That's what he says. You want to steal my teeth?
No, I want to kick you in the teeth.
Well, he says you want to steal my teeth.
I wonder if he doesn't understand English.
I don't know. He's not very smart.
Or he doesn't understand English. Maybe he's really smart, but smart at speaking Russian or something.
Yeah, because I didn't read anything about you stealing his teeth.
Say anything about stealing anything, let alone his teeth.
In Iran, they would cut your hand off for stealing someone else's property. What? How did Iran even get into this? Once again, primitive language used by two heathen infidels. Is he a jihadist or something?
He might be.
A heathen infidel?
Guess so.
I also love hair metal, which you don't.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
Hairball John and Metal Lesson Radio were successful despite your attempt at stealing their patents?
I stole their patents.
Patents? Did you steal somebody's patent?
I did.
Wow.
I stole it. That's right, John O'Brien. You don't know it, but I now own Metal Lessons because I stole your patent.
Okay. Chaim Witz, also known as Gene Simmons, only signed Van Halen. He did not teach Eddie Van Halen to play guitar.
Yeah.
His brother to play drums, David Lee Roth to sing or teach Van Halen's bass player. Look, he doesn't even mention
Michael Anthony.
Michael Anthony. He too is on the bandwagon to pretend Michael Anthony wasn't part of Van Halen now.
Right.
Or to teach Van Halen's bass player to play the bass.
Sure taught him how to sell records, though, didn't he?
Okay. So that was his reply to your lengthy diatribe there. So
whatever any of that means.
I don't even know what that... First of all, he says you want to steal his teeth, which I don't get that.
I don't get that
Then
at
he
all.
says they'd cut your hand off in Iran for stealing someone's property, which I don't know how Iran got into this.
Me either.
He accuses you of using primitive language.
Right.
And refers to us as heathen infidels.
Chris, you teeth and patent stealing bastard.
I know. So there you go. The ongoing saga over at the Hard Rock and 80s message board. So feel free to go over to hardrockin80s.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go over there where it says what is it? Message board or forums and games.
Yeah.
Go to the message boards forums and go to the general station news.
Yeah.
And feel free to reply.
Yeah, go ahead.
And don't get us wrong, Chris V, who owns Hard Rockin' 80s, a good, loyal friend to the show of the Classic Metal Show.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You might as well get over there and participate.
Yeah, join his, give his station a listen, and maybe you can comment on what's going on over there.
Right.
And here, chat room, here's the link. Maybe you guys can start there.
Sure. So feel free to go over there and, post your 2 cents and your opinion.
Yeah, maybe you agree with the gods loyal to Odin.
Odin sucks, and so do the gods that are loyal to them. The Classic Metal Show.
So stop stealing people's patents and their teeth, you goddamn heathen infidel, you.
I just don't get the stealing teeth.
I don't either, and I don't get the whole cutting your hand off in Iran.
I don't get any of that, but
I don't get that.
Yeah. Well, are you going to play music now? Because I have a relatable request.
Okay.
This segment.
Sure.
I think we should come out of this segment with the only obvious choice: Broken Teeth.
Okay.
I don't care what song, but I think that's just a perfect band for the gods loyal to Odin. It has a little bit of hair metal. It's got Broken Teeth in it.
Okay.
And now that they're broken, I can steal them.
And when are you not a fan of hair metal?
I don't know. I don't know when that happened.
I mean, I know for a fact that you enjoy quite a few of those quote-unquote hair metal bands.
I'm going to lean to say that of the two of us, I'm more of a fan of hair metal than you are.
Right.
I mean, you like certain bands of the hair metal genre, but I think I like all of the bands.
Sure. So this god's loyal to Odin. He seems to know a lot about you. He knows that you don't know any other languages. He knows that you're not a fan of hair metal.
Yeah.
He knows that you stole patents.
Yeah, and teeth.
And that you're simple-minded, and your replies are what did he call your reply?
I don't know.
He said that
this or something.
What did
he say?
He said that primitive.
Primitive, that's right.
Your language is primitive.
That's right.
So with all that said,
yeah,
I've got a whole different viewpoint of you.
All right, well, thanks. To
be honest with you, I'm surprised at how long you've been able to fake your intellect with me.
I'm a master of deceit and disguise.
And not only that, because of some of the business that I've helped to refer your way.
Yes.
I'm going to personally call all those customers and have them not do any business with you anymore.
You just need to call them up and say, look, you can't do work with this dummy. He'll steal your teeth.
And he'll take your patent.
That's right.
So you better watch it.
Yeah, get away.
Yeah. So look out. Thanks for checking out the best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.